What up, what up, what up? We are back. Who am I? Jersey Street Corner, and this is the Prison Talk Show, people. Now, today, I have a very, very interesting story for y'all. It's not the usual story, it's a little different. This one is about a bully. Let's say he was a neighborhood bully, but he's a 20-year-old white guy. He didn't bully kids or people his own age. This guy liked to bully elderly people. Yep, you're talking about a guy who preyed on the old. And that's probably one of the worst criminals you're ever going to come across in your life. Because that means they don't care about their own mama or their own daddy. They don't care about their own grandparents. They got a lot of things going on with them if their main thing is to rob and steal and hurt old people. So, this guy's name was Jason. And where he was from, it was perfectly fine. He wouldn't get in trouble. He would just lie and say he ain't had nothing to do with it. And he would normally get away with it. Because, when you come from privilege, they don't second guess you. They just, it couldn't have been him. No way he did that. No way. And he would get away with things over and over, y'all. This guy was running up on old ladies, snatching their purses, following them around supermarkets, pickpocketing them. He would snatch a cane right from under an old man while he's walking with it, y'all. Make him fall. I mean, this guy's caused serious injuries before. People done broke legs, arms, because he done pushed them over, or all types of stuff. A lot of elderly people live on fixed incomes. He done stole people's cash that they had for the whole month to survive on. He ain't care. He don't care if they eat, if they got a place to sleep, if their lights get cut off. He ain't care about none of that. This guy would stalk old people at the ATM machines, y'all. We're talking about a true monster. But mind you, Jason's a scrawny little white boy. He don't look like he's 100 pounds soaking wet. And maybe that got something mentally to do with why he decides to pick on old people, because they can't fight back. Not all older people, y'all. Don't get it twisted. It's some elderly people out here that's 60 years old that will put you on your ass. You trying. Yeah. Don't get it messed up, y'all. Anyway. So, Jason, he's obviously a borderline racist in training. He has something against black people, because the majority of the people that he hunts to do these crazy things to are black people. He goes to the park one day and he's thinking, you know what? I don't have to go to a black neighborhood to hurt a black person. I could just wait for them to come to the park. That way I don't gotta worry about getting seen or chased down or somebody catching me, doing something to me. So that's what he does, y'all. He goes to the park and sits there and waits and waits and waits. And then he sees an elderly couple walk in. Nice looking black couple. They're laughing. They look happy, smiling, hugging each other, holding hands. And that's all Jason needs to spark him off. He's like, yeah, this is it right here. This is going to make my mark. They're going to respect me after this. They're going to know who the F I am. And he started making his plan. Now, one of them weapons that got the 2 finger holes and the wire in the middle, you stretch it out, and that's what you use to choke somebody out with. He got one of them. And he got a big-ass Rambo knife, and he got a mini baton that extends. It's a bone crusher, y'all. It's made of titanium in the middle. One crack, bang! Bones breaking. He got that with him today. And he says to himself that, he knows he's faster and stronger than the both of them. So he stays back about a good 35, 40 feet. A good running distance that he could close real fast if he had to run down on them real quick if they tried to get away. And he's just following them on the low. He's just waiting for them to get a little bit further down that path they walking when they're a little bit more alone. so he can make his move. And as they walk, here comes Jason running up real quick. He jump on the old man's back, pull that thing out, twist it right around his neck. Ah! He choking him out. So the old man passed out and he dropped to the floor. Then Jason jumped off of him and ran right for the old lady. He pulled that baton out and started cracking her with it, y'all. All of her limbs. Crack, 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 crack. All you heard was bones cracking. And after they was incapacitated, he started going through their stuff. Going through her purse. Going through her pockets. Getting the wallets. Getting the ID cards. Getting the license, all that. He got the credit cards. He got all the cash they had. And then he ran off, y'all. He ran off like nothing happened. Now, something like this don't normally happen in the park. And this is broad daylight, y'all. Something like this is not supposed to happen in the park. But it did. It did. And guess what, y'all? This couple that he assaulted, they got stained where they from. They are very well respected in the neighborhood they come from. And Jason is going to find out the hard way where they come from. If you ain't hit that like button yet, smash that button like you're running out of time. Now, by the time someone heard the old lady moaning and crawling around and the cops showed up, the old man was unalived, y'all. Jason just caught a body. But on top of that, in the neighborhood the black couple come from, they was very respected because they were a long-standing staple of the community. And they just happened to be the grandparents of one of the most ruthless killers of a very violent gang, y'all. Yep. Now, I can't get into the particulars of the gang member or his name, but let's just say he was a high-ranking Crip. And he was doing 15 for an attempted M. And y'all already know the vibes. He had soldiers inside and he had soldiers outside. Business don't stop just because you get locked up, y'all. When word finally got back to him what had happened to his grandparents, he started putting his plan in motion, y'all. And his plan was so diabolical. Not only did he plan to put hands on old boy Jason, because he knew Jason was going to get caught for what he did to his grandfather. He knew that he was coming inside the prison system. But he had plans to touch everybody Jason loved. His parents, his sister, his uncle, everyone. He was going to strategically wipe all of them out from inside the prison system, y'all. Yeah. And Jason was going to be last. He wanted Jason alive long enough to see and hear what happens to his whole family for what he did. No injustice will go unpunished in prison. Please do remember that, people. Prison is not a playground. You don't just walk around all day high on drugs and drunk off hooch and have a merry old time. Nah, there's politics involved. And if you cross the wrong lines, you will be dealt with. Well, let me tell y'all something. Jason crossed the wrong lines before he even entered the prison system. He don't even know he got a bounty on his neck. Any prison he go to, the Crips is on him. They got word. They got description. They know exactly who he is Plus, the guard's gonna tell him who he is anyway. Yeah, it's like that. So, Jason is about his business. He's out there in the streets doing what he normally does. He don't even know that he caught a body. And he's just out here actually looking for more victims, y'all. He out here looking for more victims. And he's just out here looking to rob some more old people. Now, get in the comment box, y'all. What y'all think about that? How y'all feel about that? Should somebody like that preys on old people, should they throw the book at him? Should he be sentenced to a life sentence, or should they be easy on him and give him something, like a 1 or 2 year bid? What y'all think, y'all? Me personally, I think if you prey on the elderly, I think you should receive a life sentence. I don't want to hear no talking. I don't want to hear it was a mistake. I was young. I didn't know what was going on. Well, you got plenty of time to figure it out, buddy. Because ain't no way you going to hurt a pillar of the community, an elderly person that's been around for decades, that raised what could be your mama, your papa, and you just gonna disrespect like that? That's like taking an eraser and erasing the past, my boy. Nah, you got to pay for that. Don't mind me, y'all. I get real emotional when it comes to people like this. Doing time would do that to you. You couldn't be in the cell next to me with charges like that. Hell no. Anyway, y'all, back to this story. So, people started getting hit up. His family members, Jason's family members started to get hit up left and right. And Jason, like, what the heck going on? His dad didn't come home from work one day. They said they found him hanging in the back room of his job with a note in his pocket. It said 1 down, 10 to go. And they're like, what the hell? What the hell going on? Then, 2 days later, his cousin. They found her tied to her bed by her neck. Yeah, y'all. They had something tied around her neck all the way around the bed. They chopped off a couple of her fingers and stuffed them up her nose and put the note in her mouth. 2 down. Now, y'all, things are getting crazy. They go to question Jason. To ask him if he knows anything about what happened in the park the other day. Because he's starting to look like the description that was given. And I know y'all like, I thought he was alone in the park. I thought it's always somebody in the park, y'all. It's always somebody in the park. It was a homeless guy that lived in that park that was camping out in the woods, y'all. And he saw Jason. He saw what he did. And he can actually ID him, but he's scared. He don't want to do a lineup. But he gave them a description. So that's why the cop approached and said, you look like a suspect that we're looking for. I want to bring you in for some questioning. And Jason, automatically, he's like, damn, well, what did I do? All right, whatever. He thinking he about to get it off, y'all. Jason's used to going into these, police stations for questioning, and he just used his arrogance and brush it off like, well, you know where I come from. Stuff like this happens sometimes, but I don't agree with it. I had nothing to do with it. And lied through the skin of his teeth, y'all. And it wasn't going like that this time. They had the sketch artist draw that picture. They got him right next to the picture. And they're like, I don't know, man. It looks an awfully lot like you. Where was you at this time of that time, and he starts shooting out an alibi. And immediately he writes it down. The detective passes it to his partner and says, "Hey, do me a favor, go check that out." Now, Jason's scared as hell because he know that alibi ain't gonna check out. He was nowhere near where he said he was. He don't got no receipts. He don't got nothing to prove it. But where Jason was in a public area. And I don't know if y'all know it, but most public areas have cameras, y'all. Yep. If you didn't know it, if you are in a public park, the chances of a hidden camera being in that park are high. 89%. Yeah, y'all. It's a park. It's a government park. Who do you think's watching those cameras? Because things that happen in parks, oh, that's not city. That's not state. That's FBI. You don't do no dirt in the park. Anyway, just figured I'd let y'all know that. Anyway, y'all. They going through footage from that night in the park. And well, they got a pretty good idea of who it is. They got some blurry pictures, but they do have pictures. Now they got the computer guys working on zooming in and filtering and getting them pictures clearer. But in the meantime, they just gonna apply pressure to Jason because he looked like he gonna crack. You know the type. So, excuse me, y'all. Jason, they said, you know what? We're going to let you go home on your own recognizance today. Stay in town. Don't leave. We have more questions. We'll be calling you. They let him go home. Immediately, another detective follows him. He don't know he's being followed. They want to see Jason's patterns. They want to see what is he up to. And what does this idiot do? He goes right back. At least he went back to his own neighborhood and started looking around for people to rob. And now the officer, or detective rather, he's not going to arrest him for robbing nobody. He just wants to see his patterns. And he's following and watching him. And well, he's getting a good idea how violent Jason can be. And he sees him picking on elderly people. Now, they didn't make the connections yet about Jason's family members getting knocked off and, anything that Jason could have possibly done to spark this. But then, once the detective comes back and says, hey, listen, that whole alibi, that was some bullshit. He was definitely not there. But the phone in his pocket pings him at the very same park when that incident happened. Not only that, we just realized that the two people that got unalived earlier this week are related to him. And we just realized the elderly couple, the old man that he unalived, he's related to a gang member. And now the wheels are turning, y'all. Now you got all different type of agencies involved in this. They're like, okay, something's going on. The wheels already start turning. We might not be able to stop this. And in the middle of that conversation, one of the detectives' phones ring, and he's like, oh, crap. He answers it. What do you got? We got another one, boss. Another what? Well, looks like another suicide, homicide. I don't know what to call it. You got to get down here quick. Who is it? Just tell me the last name. They told him the last name. He was like, just like I thought. It was Jason's mother. Yep. They found her with 3 holes in her head, y'all. 3. They sent a very clear message. They put a note pinned to her shirt, 3 down. We're coming for you. After that, they opened the investigation. And they found out that, yeah, Jason did unalive the old man. They locked him up, put him through processing, and he's on his way to the county. Now, once Jason gets to the county, he realizes he's on his own. He can't go and go as he wants and pleases. He can't do what he wants. He don't even know nobody. He was a nobody. He didn't know whites. He didn't know blacks. He wasn't in no gang. He wasn't affiliated. So he's already facing a dilemma. Now, what would happen after the county would determine Jason's life for the next 25 years. And if y'all want to hear what happens, y'all just going to have to tune in to the next story that I drop for y'all. Alright, it's your boy JS Corner, and I'm going to get on up out of here with that one. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Y'all know the vibes. I'm out.